Welcome back, guys and girls, to some Legend of Heroes. We finished chapter 3. We're going to jump into the next chapter and see what awaits. We do have 2 ceiling stones to jump through, so hopefully we'll get some good people. Kevin Graham of the 543rd class of trainees. In the name of the goddess above, I hereby appoint you a squire of the Septian Church. I humbly accept my appointment. I pledge to offer my soul to the goddess above, and both body and blood to her church on earth. Very good. It is exceedingly rare for one at your age to be appointed to this position. I can only assume your aptitude and training achievements warranted it. May you strive to be a worthy guardian of the goddess sacrament as her loyal and devout servant. Was that his teacher? Well, if it isn't Kevin. I see you managed to avoid having your promotion rejected by the top brass. Splendid. Instructor, I really can't thank you enough for all you've done for me. I never dreamed I would have an actual dominion supervising my training. How sweet of you to say. Hard to believe you're the same boy who waltzed up before the congregation for the sacrament, shouting, "Make me a knight, please." I'd appreciate it if you'd chuck that memory back into the furthest reaches of your mind. Oh, but how could I? Had I missed your groveling, I never would have taken an interest in you in the first place. And not in a million years would I have thought you were related to Rufina. You could have asked her to take you on as her pupil before resorting to such a drastic measure, you silly boy. Well, I had my reasons. Let's leave it at that. Very well. It doesn't matter at this point. Congratulations. You're now a dog of the church, just like the rest of us. It's good to have you on board. Thank you. I'm not sure that's the most reassuring metaphor to be using on new recruits, though. You might scare them off right off. You might scare some right off. Please, you're not trying to position yourself as some sweet doe-eyed thing, are you? Besides, I think it's a perfectly apt description for us. We go around sniffing out sacraments wherever they may be, tearing through the throats of the heretical fools who are enamored with them all the while. Can you spot the difference? Come on, instructor. I'm used to you at this point, so I don't really care if you call me a dog, but you care if I call your beloved Rufina one, don't you? Not to worry, Kevin. I can read between the lines well. Well, did I guess right? I owe her a lot, but I wouldn't call her my beloved. She's just like a big sister to me, that's all. You're making it sound like I... Like you... What exactly? Rufina, I thought you were in Remiferia on a mission. I was, but I tried to finish as quickly as possible so I could be back for your appointment ceremony. I'm so proud of you, Kevin. It's amazing just how fast you've grown. Now you're a full-fledged adult like me. Wow, thanks for going out of your way to come here. I'm not sure I deserve to be called an adult yet, though. I've got a whole lot of work ahead of me if I want to be half the knight the two of you are. Oh my, how modest. By the way, have you let Reese know about all of this yet? Not yet. I'm planning to write to her tonight. She's been real mad at me ever since I decided to come to Arteria, though. Hopefully this will cheer her up a bit. There's not much else I can do to make her to make up with her short of going home. Perhaps we should do that together at some point if we can find the time. Oh, and while I have the chance, thank you so much for looking after him all this time, Ein. You've given up so much of your free time, and I really do appreciate it. Think nothing of it. It proved quite a fun way to kill time. He has a fair amount of potential in combat and thaumaturgy. Give me a quick second here, guys. Okay. It's a shame all his skills are on the practical side of things, however. His academic side is less than stellar. I had this feeling in the pit of my stomach That may be the case. Alright, I've got to get going. I have to pick up my new room key and medal from the General Affairs guy. Sorry, I'll talk to you later. Oh. What's this? You look so concerned. Feeling guilty because he followed you into such a dangerous line of work? Not at all. That was completely up to him. And him alone. I would never try to dictate his life choices. It's just that I think he'll make a fine knight, personally. He checks all the boxes. He's got the potential. He's got the determination. All in all, I can see why you're so proud of him. And call it a hunch, but I wouldn't be surprised if a stigma manifested in him, just like it was in you. Well, I'm impressed. I didn't think you could sense that of others if you didn't possess one yourself. Yet one more reason to feel frustrated that you are in a dominion. I know we're friends, but there's no need for all the flattery. My combat and thaumaturgy abilities are average at best. I wouldn't be cut out for the job at all. I'm grateful enough to have been promoted from squire to knight. That's the upper limit for someone with my lack of potential. If only you saw things the way I do. Someone with average at best abilities couldn't have handled your Ouroboros case half as well as you did. Fighting off a man of that reported strength to a swift enough conclusion would be a pretty feather in anyone's cap. It was just my luck that we both came to an understanding. As far as Kevin goes, he wouldn't need to rely on luck. His potential for growth extends further than I'll ever be able to go. But he has one weakness holding him back. That poor boy is just far too kind. So kind, in fact, that I can see him driving himself into a corner because of it one day.
Damn. Chapter 4,
The Dark Stigma.
Alright, let's see who we got. 2 sealing stones. Give us some good peeps.
That looks like... Hey!
It's Olivier and, is it Kine? I forget his name. It's the monk from the first game. Zen. That's it. Sorry. I've mixed the names up. Ugh.
Zen?
Prince Olivier. No, this is a surprise. Don't think this is a dream, at least.
Indeed, it is not. I would be overjoyed to share a sweet date with Scara in my dreams. One with a fine drinking companion, not so much.
Yeah, this is real, alright. Still, doesn't Scara count as a drinking companion too?
In a way, it's fine to be drunk with the joy of her company, but it is very much the opposite to be drunk with alcohol involved. That's one of the most important lessons I learned during my stay in Liberal.
Truer words has never been spoken. But alright, enough playing around. You guys mind filling us in on just what kind of situation we've gotten ourselves into?
We shall make with the embraces and tearful greetings afterward.
Honestly.
You two really are something special. You'd think you'd be a little shaken finding yourselves in somewhere as unnatural as this out of nowhere.
Huh? I'll welcome them too. Especially Zen. I actually like using Zen.
This is quite the pickle.
I appreciate that it may be hard to believe that, but that is the situation we find ourselves in at this present time. If we're to try and find a way out, we'll need you to accept that.
Oh, Mueller, my sweet rose-kissed muse, ever pure and free of thorns, you misunderstand me. I have long accepted our current predicament as a reality.
And why do you look so deep in thought?
Need you even ask? Perhaps my life's toughest decision lies ahead of me. Before me I find Joshua, Princess Claudia, Tita, and Josette. Then there's Julia, and even a new face, Reese.
Just whom shall I gather into my arms like a warm blanket and exchange sweet nothings in celebration first? Only you. Joshua, you were pulling my leg when you said this guy was an Erebonian prince, right?
Hard as it is to believe, he is.
Putting my deeply earnest dilemma aside for the time being, it sounds as though you've been making some headway in unraveling the mysteries behind this place. Naturally, I would be more than honored to help with that.
But first you've got a few questions you need to ask, right? I know I sure do.
I should have known you would be thinking along the same lines.
You're exactly right. Fine by me. What do you want to ask? Do you think you figured something out? That's what I want to find out. First I want to ask about that ghost you've encountered.
Ask away. If I remember correctly, the first time you met her was on the balcony in Grenso.
Indeed, it was. She gave us the key that allowed us to eventually find and rescue you.
That was the first time she appeared to us as a ghost, but I don't believe it was the first time she directly communicated with you. Was it, Father?
Don't think so. When Reese and I first arrived here, we heard a strange voice talking to us. We didn't have a clue who it belonged to at the time, but I think that was probably her.
As do I. So at first she existed, here only as a voice, but she gradually started showing up with a body too. I know that's a weird way to put it, but if it's true, it backs up what that man in black said last time we saw him.
Yeah, he said the Lord of Phantasma had stolen most of her power, right? He kept referring to her as the Hermit and Master of the Hollow Garden. Plus the inscription on that monument behind us has the Hermit's Garden written on it. I think all of us here can connect the dots. Agreed. It's reasonable to conclude that this very garden is connected to her in some way.
That's true. Makes sense to me. It also explains why this place is kind of comfy compared to the other weird, fiend-infested places.
Feels like we're getting closer to the truth with every new revelation. By the sounds of it, she's been in Phantasma for a while now, possibly since the beginning. But then she had her power stolen by the Lord of Phantasma and ended up without a body. Since then, she's been trying to help us to the best of her ability and guide us forward. If we assume all of that to be true, maybe the monuments scattered throughout are connected to her somehow. They seem to exist for that same purpose, guiding us forward.
I think there's one more thing in our possession that's connected to her. That cube, Kevin.
You think so?
Unfortunately, your guess is as good as mine on exactly what that cube is. That being said, I think the odds of it being connected to her somehow are as high as everything else on the list. Well, what do you think?
Honestly, I'm impressed. You've done a remarkable job of making sense of the situation when you've only just arrived. Still, if we assume all that to be true, then there's something else we should be doing as we keep moving forward.
Helping to restore her power, I assume. That way we should be able to ask her what else she knows about the land we're in.
Got it. Got it in one. I get the impression that if we don't stand a chance against those two. We'll find ourselves up against the wall at some point.
You may well be right. Well, leaving her aside for the time being, I do have one final thing I'd like to ask.
Huh? What else is there to cover?
It concerns that Lord of Phantasma you kept mentioning. Put simply, you wouldn't happen to have any idea as to who they are, would you, Kevin?
Why me?
Well, from my perspective, they're awfully fixated on you. They seem to know about Reese's sister as well. Then there's the fact that they're even able to summon devils from the church's texts. It all seems to be pointing to you two, and you in particular.
I can see why you'd asked, I guess. Unfortunately for you, I got nothing. If anything, I'd say they seem to be an enemy of the Grossritter as a whole, rather than just me.
I suppose that's possible. Wouldn't be surprised if an organization like that had more than their fair share of enemies. No offense, of course. I have plenty of enemies.
Try not to sound like it's something worth boasting about. Anyway, even if we've connected some dots, we'll have to save the mystery behind who our enemies are for another day. Maybe we can get more information out of them the next time we see them, but until then, we don't have enough to work with. Right. Next time one of them shows up, we'll have to see what we can force out of them. So that about wraps things up for now. If so, we should probably get ready to head out. We're on plane number 4, and if the previous planes are anything to go by, it's gonna be tough.
Kevin.
What's up? Did you have something else you wanted to add?
No.
It's just that I'm not feeling very well, so I'm going to sit the next plane out. What? I'm sorry for the trouble, everyone, but please look out for him on my behalf. He shouldn't cause you too much trouble, but as I'm sure you know, he can be a little careless at times. Reese, wait a sec.
Are you not gonna go after her?
Sorry. I'll be back in a minute.
Does she know who it is?
Reese! Wait a sec. What's with you all of a sudden? Oh, I know. Are you feeling left out because I'm the only one who know here and everyone else is all buddy-buddy? Sorry, Reese. Probably wasn't fun to have to sit through the whole happy reunion deal. I should have noticed earlier, really. I've been pretty insensitive, so I'm really sorry, okay? When are you going to stop acting? Huh? It's true that I felt a little left out for a while. You've clearly gone through so much together, and it's made you that much more fond of each other in the days since. Yeah, we had some amazing times. Hard to come out the other end of stuff. We did without growing closer through it all. Watching you all, how could I not have felt lonely? How could I not have felt jealous? You've been avoiding me for the past 5 years, Kevin. The thought that you'd grown close to so many others while going out of your way to keep me out of arm's reach did make me sad. You know I didn't mean it like that, Reese. But at the same time, I was still happy you did. I knew how badly what happened to Rufina had hurt you, how you were still blaming yourself for it. I knew how you were driving yourself into a corner over it, and how you were taking on nothing but dirty jobs as if you were trying to punish yourself. And I couldn't confirm it for myself for sure, but I knew the rumors that you were desperate to burn yourself out through them were true. So that's the reason. That's why, as lonely as I felt when you were off making new friends without me, I was really, really happy more than anything. Reese, you do know that? Except it turns out you haven't made any new friends at all. You're pulling the same exact thing you pulled with me on them. Every single one at arm's length. They can't get close to you. You won't get close to them. On the surface, you're a cheerful person, having fun with everyone. But on the inside, you're as cold as can be. All you're doing is manipulating your own emotions. So please think you're someone you're not. So people think you're someone you're not. After watching you ever since we were reunited, that's become plain as day to me. Man, I'm happy you're worried about me. But you've totally got the wrong idea with this one. Sorry, I'm good at a lot of things, but pretending to be someone I'm not isn't one of them. When I'm happy, you'll know about it. And when I'm mad, well, I think you know I'm not so good at hiding that either. I'm the same transparent guy I always was. Oh, I didn't say you weren't easy to read for me, at least, Kevin. After all, I know how genuinely shaken you were by the Lord of Phantasma's message. Their words and the words of that Schwartzritter always come across as cryptic, but not to you. Deep down, you know what they're talking about. You just constantly keep it from the rest of us and try to keep us in the dark. No, maybe you've even managed to pull the wool over your own eyes, too. Come on now, you can't seriously devour the new offering presented to you and display your seal once more. You know exactly what that means, don't you? Go on. You know what? Maybe you should sit things out for a bit. You're clearly really tired. What? I get that you're angry, as you are upset with me, but I think it's starting to make you jump to some really out there conclusions. Being tired is only going to make it worse. Can't you see how negative your line of thinking is? You can't seriously believe all this is actually true. I'm not saying I don't deserve all the anger. I totally do. I genuinely was busy at the same time. I wasn't sure how to face you if we did end up meeting either. Still, we're gonna be working together from now on, so... Enough. Huh?
Slap him. There you go.
Everything you're saying is just meaningless. Maybe the others don't realize that, but how dare you think I, of all people, would fall for it? I realize I'm turning my back on the duties of a squire, but by doing this, but I can't bear to be near you any longer. I can't stand to see the Kevin I thought I knew so empty, so... Kevin? Oh, hey. I'm sorry you had to see that. Don't worry about it. I want to know something, Joshua. You've looked into me a fair bit since I first stepped onto the scene, right? I have. I know that you're called the Heretic Hunter. I know that you're one of the 12 dominions that lead the Grosritter. And I know you undertake the execution of sinners the church deems most unforgivable, almost single-handedly. I figured you know your stuff. Wouldn't want any guy whose background you hadn't thoroughly vetted being close to girlfriend for long, huh? I can't deny it. Still, the only people you harm are those sinners, never anyone else. So I decided that, for the time being at least, you weren't a threat to her or anyone. I see. Weissman was your work too, wasn't it? Sure was. My job was to get rid of him. That's it. Everything I did with you guys leading up to that point was to get myself into a position to get it done without him catching on. That includes helping all of you out, naturally. Yeah, I know. You must have been aware of the possibility that Estelle would be taken on board the Glorious, too. You thought allowing it to happen would help you in the long run, so you kept quiet about it. Wow, now that one, I'm surprised you pieced together. Yep, you're absolutely right. I figured there was a chance she might get abducted, but I did exactly nothing to stop it. All I cared about was finding out what Weissman and you were up to, and where you were for that matter. Couldn't use better bait for that than her. I thought so. And yet all of that doesn't change how I'm more grateful than words can express. Why is that? Because if you hadn't helped me back then, I would still be Weissman's puppet. I would have broken with my own hands what I value most in the whole world. That's a debt I'll never be able to fully repay. Oh, sweet adios, now you're just being cute. I know you're smart enough to realize that. That's not at all why I threw you a bone, right? I just wanted him off his guard enough to create the opening I needed. Helping you was the perfect way to do that. That was all there was to it. And again, that doesn't change how grateful I am to you. Knowing why you did what you did doesn't erase the gratitude I feel. Not in the slightest. It really is just as well. You ended up quitting Ouroboros. You'd suck to high heaven if you were an enforcer now. Honestly, you're totally right. If Reese is sitting on the sidelines for now, let me help you in her place. I might not be as capable of helping you as she is, but I should be able to back you up. You don't need to feel indebted to me, you know? Well, I'll take what I can get. No doubt you're worried sick about Estelle, too, so there's your gold star for reason for helping out besides me. So thanks. I'm glad you got my back. Right back at you.
So he's gonna be the party member that we have to stick with us? Yeah. So I can't take Joshua out. That's fine. He was gonna be the part of the party regardless. So we got Olivier now. And Zen. I liked it Zen simply because his strength is really amazing. He is kind of low leveled though. So I don't know about taking him. I'm actually thinking about taking Chloe, because her magic is on point. I really like it.
Together now.
So I think I'm going to take her, and I need a heavy hitter. Should I take a ranged?
Oh, okay.
See,
All right. Your aid, please.
kind of want to use the characters, but then I kind of don't.
Together now.
I think I'll do this. Alright, and as per usual, this is how that's going. Okay. So let's go see what the 4th layer has in store for us now. I might actually end it as we go to the 4th layer, because that was a pretty lengthy little cutscene thing there. And here's the entrance to the next plane. I doubt the pattern will change up now, so yeah. We won't know what kind of place that's going to be until we step inside, though. Wherever we end up, I imagine there will be plenty of strange fiends waiting for us. Let's make sure we're good to go before we keep going. Entrance exam results? What? What is that? A letter to Chloe Rins informing her that she has passed the Genus Royal Academy entrance examination. Okay. I don't know. I guess that's something to do with her, her door. Where are we now? Nowhere I've ever seen before, judging from where I'm standing. Oh my. This is where Estelle was training, wasn't it? On the 2nd game. What a beautiful view. Wow. Well, this is a lot prettier than the last plane, at least. This must be another real place that's been recreated here. Much like the capital was. Most likely. Just where is it, though? Somewhere in Liberal? I doubt it. It's not familiar to me at all. My best guess would be somewhere along the Crone Mountains, but the air suggests otherwise. Oh. This is where she was training at. Huh? What's the Bracer Guild's emblem doing here? It looks like this really isn't a place that exists in Liberal. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any guild facilities like this anywhere in the country. I'm not familiar with any either, nor am I aware of there being any buildings like this in Calvert. Would you look at that? The answer was right under our noses the whole time. It was? This is locle Training Center? I know that name. Wasn't it the training camp Estelle went to a while back? You know, last year with Annalise. That's the one. It's a guild-owned facility, located in Lehman State. I've never been there myself, though. I've only heard about it from Estelle. So this is the locle, huh? I've never trained here personally, but it's famous among bracers. That leaves us with yet another problem to solve. Lehman State is a fairly significant distance away from Liberal. Yeah, it is. It's farther away than both Erebonia and Calvert. But you know, I may not have a clue how a place in Lehman ended up being created here or why. But if our enemies did it, they must have had a reason for doing so, right? Heh, I knew you'd catch on. Uh-oh. That sounded like... We've got company, guys. Oh no. Here comes trouble. I suppose Beastman would be the best term for these things. This is probably what your next destination is. The Path of Beasts was referring to. Another mystery solved. Watch out, there's a lot of them, and this could get ugly. So if we teleported here, does that mean that we can potentially get Annalise and the rest of those Bracer Guild members in the party? Ow. That wasn't nice. I wish some of the rest of my team had some CPs out. Kind of bogus that she was the only one. Kill the rat man. You know what? I should have brought some gear because Zen is probably under equipped. That's why he only is taking 800. Totally forgot to do that. They told me before we made it in here, yet I forgot to do that. Go me. One down, 2 to go. It's fine, keep hitting Zen, you can take it. She's an art, like, whiz, so I'd be better off doing some arts with her to do damage while everyone else does their attacks. Oh, come on, Kevin. Oh, you guys suck picking on a girl like that. Love how the wolf is like twitching out profusely. It's kind of funny. Not gonna lie. Now there's no point in using a CP attack. There you go. Battle 1.
Nicely done.
Fleeing to fight another day, huh? They're smart little devils. Devils do seem a lot more intelligent than your average monsters. Enough to make me wonder whether these are another kind of impossible fiend, like the rest. I'm with you. I can't pretend to be an expert on the monsters of Lehman, but I'm pretty sure they're not this smart. Looks like this plane is going to pose a real challenge. Here she comes. You have done well to come this far. On this plane, there are 3 ordeals to overcome. If you overcome them all, the next path will open. Take this.
The ghost hand them a map of locle.
Be forewarned. The Lord of Phantasma's goal is your poop. Well, she sure didn't stick around long. She's probably got so little power left now, it's difficult for her to show herself to us. So it seems. It must be a frustrating thing for her to deal with. Still, she left us with a useful gift. Yeah.
Kevin opened the map of locle.
Okay. Looks like the lodge is in the top right is where we are now. Then there's this ball star channel place to the left of it. Maybe that's the ordeal she mentioned, or one of them at least. She mentioned there being 3 of them, but there's only one place that could fit that description marked on the map. I wonder where the other 2 could be. From what I can see, these 2 roads lead to them. The ones that seem to just stop all of a sudden. But this plane most likely has its own rules we need to follow. If we follow those roads now, there's a big chance we'd find nothing at the end of them. Unfortunately. Well, those are the cards we've been dealt. Let's just try heading over to the Ballstar channel and see what comes of it.
comes of it. Alright, so like I said, I'm gonna end that there, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, share with a friend. I'm definitely gonna have to. I might, you know what? I might actually switch Zen out. Honestly, we'll see. I don't know, because I kind of want. What's her name in the party? Tita. Like simply the preference of having Tita. It's kind of nice. I don't know. And then there's her as well. Like, my original party was fine, in my opinion. I don't know. It's kind of hard to choose. Can I switch my party? I was supposed to do it here, right? Does this not have a party switch thing? Oh, no, okay. My bad. Yeah, I'm thinking I just bring in Tita. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I need to outfit them out a little better. So if I were to bring Zen, he definitely needs to be. He needs an upgrade, which I'm sure is in here somewhere, or not. I guess there's no weapon for newcomers yet. Thought there would be. Yeah, I think for right now, either Vander or Julia. Seems interesting. Vander's got more strength. Screw it. We're going Vander. Okay, so we're gonna go with this party instead and see how that works. Thanks for watching, guys. No, wait, cancel that. Leave a like, subscribe, share with a friend. We head back into the 4th layer next time.